need to have leads us right into our Versus series.
It does. So now, folks, stay with us. Give me 3 seconds. It's time for the Versus series.
And Paul just left me again. Paul, did you go to the bathroom just because it was 3 seconds?
Yes, real quick. I did.
You really went and got a hat on.
Baseball time, baby. What's up? The Versus series.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I guess everybody knows what we're going to be talking about a little bit in the Versus series here today. One of the things is definitely baseball because Paul has his hat on.
And I couldn't reach my Alabama basketball because, quite honestly, it's a struggle.
You actually have an Alabama basketball?
I do. I'm looking at it right now.
Did they win last night?
Yes, they did.
Oh, so they got to the second round.
And by the way, you should know that they have the same record as Florida. So keep talking.
I haven't said anything about Florida basketball this year. It's completely awful.
Yeah. I guess we're talking a little sports here as we get into this. Alabama has been told if they win this next game, they're in the playoffs. They're in the tournament, which is great. All we got to do is beat Kentucky. No big deal.
Beat Kentucky here. I have somebody texting me about our show. Keep on talking here, Paul.
Okay, I'll keep talking. I just lost John.
No, you're not. Oh, I have something to make sure before we close out the show that Noah just sent me. He said, I wanted to say this, but it was too cheesy. I want to say it when we talk about before we close out their show. So just
say it now. Let's do it.
You want me to say it now? Okay. He was talking about the five-tool player. He says, if we look at it from a basketball perspective, shooting, teaching the word to non-believers, defense, defending the word from those who want to destroy it, passing, knowing when to get others, brothers and sisters involved in teaching and helping others, the locker room, getting along with other Christians, not causing divides in the church, and then practice. You're praying, you're reading the word, living righteously when the game of evangelism isn't on.
Very good. That had everything to do with baseball and five-tool player. But at least we got Noah thinking, and that's a really good little outline there. So thank you, Noah, for
absolutely, Noah. I'm going to put that out there.
But with the Versus series here, we have March Madness, which opens and starts on March the 19th. If I'm not mistaken, that's next Tuesday.
It's coming, those playing games.
Yeah. And then those are the 4 playing games getting in. And then versus Major League Baseball opening day on March the 28th. The question I pose to you, Dr. Professor Podine, I can't talk, Professor Podine, is this: are people more excited about March Madness, or are they more excited about opening day of Major League Baseball? Which side do you choose?
Oh, man, Paul, that's a tough one. That's a tough one for me because let me tell you something. Next Thursday and Friday, the work see here, how do I want to describe this? The work effort that's going to be put forth is going to crack because of everybody wants to see what their pool is, who won that first round, and trying to figure out did their pool bracket already get busted on the first day or second day. So that is, I want to say, I think there's probably less work ethic effort that day than there is on opening baseball.
Mr. Roboto. Got a little bad service there just for a moment, but we're back with us. So I'm glad you're with us now.
Now I know why you were laughing at me. I'm actually getting ready to cross into Georgia.
And Noah says I do what I want, Paul. And so we know that. We definitely know that. I'm glad you live in the country. We have the freedom to do those things. March Madness, I got to be honest with you, basketball season, not necessarily my favorite. I'll give you a little history here. I am an Alabama fan through and through. I want all sports to do well. But on top of that, I wanted to enjoy the March Madness season. And in most cases, as a Alabama fan, I cannot. So I have to choose another team. So back in, 1990, I had an opportunity to follow a team and a player called Michael Jordan, who played for a little town up in Chapel Hill called the University of North Carolina Tar Heels. So, which, by the way, has beaten Duke twice so far this year. They will play them again tonight at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. They may not win because Zion Williamson is now playing on Fort Miss Duke. So there's that. Anyway, I do like the March Madness season. I like doing the brackets. In fact, we got some of our older ladies here at church who asked us if we're doing that. So we're going to do a bracketology here at the Palisades Church. It'll be awesome. But also, I'm a Braves fan. And not for last year, but about the 5-10 years before that, it was a pretty dreary time for Braves fans. But now it's like we're excited. Things are happening. Things are looking good. The Phillies have completely destroyed all baseball lineups in the East. So what are we going to do there? But we'll see what happens.
I love Mason Acuna.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Rookie of the year last year. So I'm excited about baseball. I'm excited about opening. It's been a while. It's been a minute since we've seen some baseball. The versus series on these two are very difficult because, and people tell us what you think about that in the chat room. Give us your thoughts on this, or tweet us and let us know what's going on there. You do it at Jon Paul. Or the Paul Sperlin. Send us a tweet or at the show, the Jon and Paul Show on Twitter, and let us hear from you and let us know which you prefer, March Madness or opening day of baseball. I love baseball, but March Madness really only lasts for, a month? Just leading into that.
And I think of this, when I'm talking about March Madness, Paul, I'm just talking about that first weekend because everybody's bracket, half the people's brackets are busted the first day.
Because they didn't pick Xavier or Butler.
That's correct.
Or Davidson.
Or Liberty.
Liberty.
I'm excited to see Liberty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They beat up on Lipscomb. That was the third time they beat up on Lipscomb this year to win the Atlantic Sun or something like that, whatever their division is that they play in. I don't know what division they play in.
Yeah. By the way, Jess Eastep thinks you have a stellar chin.
A stellar chin?
Yeah.
Thank you, Jess. I'm proud of my chin.
He also wishes you would just keep your eyes on the road. Okay, so
my eyes are on the road. I don't know what you're talking about.
So in the room, give us your votes. What's the most important? What do people look forward to the most? I think because the college basketball season seems like it lingers, I think people look more forward to the March Madness part to get to the real part of the season. Right. When you're watching college football, I mean, let's face it, you lose a game, you're out. I mean,
unless
you're Alabama or Ohio State. Ohio State can lose like 5. They're still in it. I don't understand that. But anyway, it's great. Notre Dame, yeah. But you lose the game, you're out. But in basketball, I mean, look at this. Alabama's in the bubble. They've lost 14 games. There should be no discussion of them in the NIT. Should snub them because of their schedule, because of what's going on. They beat Kentucky in Tuscaloosa the first week of the season, and that's what's carried them through. And I appreciate that. I do. But it's what it is. With baseball, you look forward to baseball. You look forward to them throwing the ball again. But here's the deal. You've got 163 games following that. So it's a long season, but it's the anticipation of baseball coming back. It is America's sport. It's a neat versus. It is, because it's tough to find a winner. But
it is. I'll tell you, those diehard baseball fans, and this is the thing too, Paul. I do think that, especially if you're from the South down in here, we're kind of we follow the Braves, and that's about it. There's some other things, but when you talk about opening day, like in Cleveland or Boston or New York or even LA, that may be a little bit different from those people's perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
With that.
Cool. High school friend of mine, Tracy Taylor Tripp, she just joined. Thanks for being here. I hope you're here long enough to watch some of the show. So we need everybody to vote. Tell us what you think. March Madness or Josh? Okay, March Madness or opening day of baseball. Josh puts up here GOVOLS. I'm not sure what that is.
Go Vols.
Excited about March Madness this year. Of course you are, and you should be.
But absolutely should be. Tennessee is wow.
Let me finish this. Get in your Roboto thing. All right, March Madness this year. But I do love the Braves. Wishing they will be the Braves like they were in the late '80s and '90s. By late 80s, I hope you mean 19.
I hope you mean 1990, like one or two.
Late 80s were Dale Murphy days. Huge Murph fan, but
absolutely.
Never won a World Series, so there's that. Frodo tells us, I think March Madness is bigger. Thank you for a vote. So far, March Madness is winning because we have a vote. But getting back to Josh Shaw's comment, Volunteers, yes, finally they have a team that's really doing well. LSU is going to be playing. Who they play? Auburn, right? No. Yeah. No. Alabama's played Kentucky.
Maybe playing Florida. Florida played Arkansas yesterday.
Right.
I can't remember. That shows you how much we pay attention to basketball.
Exactly. Kentucky, Tennessee have a great shot at one seeds. A lot depends on how the tournament's going to end. Frodo likes Florida.
If they want to, they need to get to the finals of the SEC championship. What are you laughing at me for?
Nothing, Mr. Roboto. You're back again. To be fair, sometimes I'm gone too. So there's that. All right. So the Versus Series, cool logo. Thanks to Samson for doing that for us. Strong man. Yeah, Auburn did play last night. But UAB played last night. They're playing today. Old Dominion. So that's happening. LSU plays Florida. Okay, that's what. That's what.
Yeah, because they just played last week and took it to a tough game. It was right down there to the end.
One other thing about March Madness versus opening day of baseball. March Madness is a playoff system. Opening day of baseball is just game one, and so I'm sort of leaning towards the March Madness thing. It's a seasonal thing. It's 3 or 4 weeks. It's it. Opening day is one day, and there'll be more games to follow. It is a big anticipation. Thankful that baseball's back, but whatever.
I'm still thankful, Paul, since we are sitting here talking about things that we're thankful for the AAF.
I don't want – listen, you are missing the point of the Versus Series. The Versus Series is – we talk about Versus. By the way, go Barons. I'm wearing my hat. So – as far as the Versus Series goes, Noah says that Clemson, I will mention this, Clemson's going to the not invited tournament.
The NIT
comes in and says March Madness is better. College basketball more than any other sport.
No.
Gives the underdog a legit, and then it says Seymour, I'm guessing gives it a legit chance.
That's true.
A legit shot at beating the big dog. That is true. It's just more exciting and more open than opening day of baseball. Baseball has 873 or so more games after opening. You're right. You're absolutely right. Good call on that. Can't agree with the basketball. College basketball is the best sport ever, but it has its place, and so there's that for that. Brock Johnson loves that guy. Okay, Frodo comes in. The real question: March Madness or Major League Baseball playoffs? That might be a better comparison.
That's interesting.
That is. I mean, you're talking about playoff systems. So I get that. But I think it can be said, opening day versus March Madness. March Madness wins this one. The Versus Series goes to March Madness, and March Madness is the victor.
We have a champion.
Victor goes to sports. There's that.
That is awesome.
So that is the Versus Series, folks. The second installment. We went through that just fine, I think. We did that in a Christian way.
We did.
That's good. That's good.
Because apparently I just shut my mouth.
That's right. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you have to go and watch our show from last week. See what I did there? YouTube channel. Subscribe. Watch it. Be a part of it. Okay, John, it's time for sports. Tell us what you want to say about